welcome to Epic Learning Skills. Today in this video we are going to learn about the floating point data types, in which we will learn about the floating point constants and assigning the floating point values to the integer variables. So firstly, floating point data types. Whole numbers are not adequate for many jobs. If you are writing a program that works with the dollar amount or precise measurements, you need a data type that allows a fractional values. In programming terms, these are called as a floating point numbers. Floating point data types are used to define variables that can hold real numbers. Internally, floating point are numbers that are stored in a manner similar to the scientific notation. Computers typically use the E notation to represent the floating point values. In E notation, the number 47,281.97 would be 4.728197 E4. So the part of the number before the E is the mantissa, and the part after the E is the power of 10. When a floating point number is stored in a memory, it is stored as the mantissa and the power of 10. So the table shows below the number represented in the scientific and E notation. If we look in the scientific notation, the numbers are actually represented as the power of 10, while in the E notation they are represented in the term of E. So the part before the E is known as the mantissa, and the part after the E represents the power of 10. In C++, there are three data types that can represent the floating point numbers. They are float. The float data type is considered single precision. Next is double. The double data type is usually twice as big as float, so it is considered double precision. Lastly comes long double. As you have probably guessed, the long double is intended to be larger than double. The exact sizes of these data type is dependent on the computer you are using. The only guarantees are a double is at least as big as a float, and the long double is at least as big as double. Below table shows the sizes and the ranges of floating point data types usually found on PCs. Single precision data type has 4 byte size with 7 significant digits. Double precision data type has 8 byte size with 16 significant digits. The long double data type has 8 byte size with 16 significant digits. Some compilers use more than 8 bytes for long doubles. These allow greater ranges. You will notice there are no unsigned floating point data types. On all machines, variables of the float, double and the long double data type can store both positive and the negative numbers. So our next topic is floating point constants. Floating point literals, commonly referred to as floating point constants, may be expressed in variety of ways. To express them, E notation is one method. When you are writing numbers that are extremely large or extremely small, this will probably be the easiest way. E notation numbers may be expressed with an uppercase e or the lowercase e. You can also express floating point constants in decimal notation. The constant 1.496E8 could have been written as. Obviously, the E notation is more convenient for the lengthy numbers, but for the number like 47.39, decimal notation is preferable to 4.739 E1. All of the following floating point constants are equivalent. Floating point constants are normally stored in memory as doubles. Just in case you need to force a constant to be stored as float, you can append the letter f or small f to the end of it. For example, the following constant would be stored as float numbers. Because the floating point constants are normally stored in memory as doubles, some compilers issue a warning message when you assign a floating point constant to a float variable. For example, if num is a float, the following statement might cause the compiler to generate a warning message. You can suppress the error message by appending the f suffix to the floating point constant as shown here. If you want to force a value to be stored as long double, append a letter L to it as shown here. The compiler wouldn't confuse this with a long integer because of the decimal point. A lowercase letter L can also be used to define a floating point constant to be a long double, but an uppercase L is preferable, as the lowercase l is easily confused with the digit 1. So our last topic is assigning the floating point values to the integer variables. When a floating point value is assigned to an integer variable, the fractional part of the value, the part after the decimal point, is discarded. This occurs because an integer variable cannot hold any value containing decimals. For example, look at the following code: int numbers and number is equal to 7.8. This code attempts to assign the floating point value 7.8 to the integer variable number. Because this is not possible, the value 7 is assigned to the number and the fractional part is discarded. When a part of the value is discarded in this manner, the value is said to be truncated. Assigning a floating point variable to an integer variable has the same effect. For example, look at the following code. Integer variable int var is declared and the double variable double var is equal to 7.8 is declared. In the third step, the integer variable is set equal to the double variable, but only 7 value is assigned to the integer variable and the double variable remain as it is. Floating point variable can hold as much larger range of values than the integer variable can. If a floating point value is stored in an integer variable, the whole part of the value, the part before the decimal point, is too large for the integer variable, and an invalid value will be stored in the integer variables. This is all about today's lecture. If you have any confusion regarding this lecture, you can email me or write in the comment section below. Also, the link for the other videos are given in the description below.